Hi guys, Jesse here, and welcome back to my Star Wars Rebels reaction series. Today we're going to be moving on to Season 2, Episode 21. So, on the last episode we had both giant alien spiders and kind of the final goodbye of Ezra and Kanan before they go off to Malachor. Hopefully it's not a final goodbye, but I think Kanan thinks that there's going to be something bad happening on Malachor just based on the visions he had with the artist formerly known as the Grand Inquisitor. I personally hope nothing bad happens, but there's not much of a show if tragedy doesn't strike, so... And obviously this is the penultimate episode right before the Season 2 finale, so I'm very interested to see what is going to happen and what other major bombshells are going to be dropped. Because last season finale we got Ahsoka and also Vader, so it'll be fun to see how they top that. But I don't want to talk a lot more because I really want to get into this episode, so let's go ahead and jump in.
Are you sure about this?
Yes.
Ahsoka, you don't have to go to Malachor alone. I can be there in 2 rotations.
I'm not alone, Rex.
You know, I could have ordered you to take me along.
You don't exactly outrank me anymore.
In my book, experience outranks everything.
Then I definitely outrank you.
Oh no!
Speak with you.
No! That definitely felt like a goodbye, but I know Ahsoka's not dead.
Why is Rex so worried? What does he know that I don't?
Malachor has always been off limits to Jedi.
Why?
Old legends, stories told to us as younglings in the temple.
There's always a bit of truth in legends.
That seems a little self-referential. Like, there's a little bit of truth in what used to be legends, like,
Something helpless.
because this planet comes from KOTOR, which is now considered legends.
A ship? What type? He can't tell.
Track it. Let's see who else is interested in this place.
Whoa, look up ahead.
Inquisitors?
What is that?
I don't know. The ship we're tracking went there.
Wow. If a planet could look evil, I think this one counts.
No, Ezra, don't.
Ezra, don't touch it! Oh, it's glowing red. Nothing ever that goes red is ever good. Dead, super dead.
What is that?
A Sith temple.
Yay! Oh! Yeah, that's what I would think a Sith temple would look like. The Sith really love that brutalist architectural design.
Ahsoka, you said we're here to find knowledge. What kind of knowledge?
The forbidden kind. To defeat your enemy, you have to understand them.
Ahsoka's read The Art of War. Oh, that was an Inquisitor. That was definitely an Inquisitor. How many brothers and sisters are here? Oh my god, it's like
Ground was
Pompeii.
scorched. Whoa, Kanan, look, a lightsaber.
Thousands of years ago, Jedi Knights attacked the temple.
And the Jedi won, right?
From what I can tell,
No.
nobody won.
Why is Kanan such a... Oh, get down!
Hi, Inquisitor! Who are you?
Jedi.
You're new! Great.
Don't worry about me, I'll catch up.
No, you're not. Like, don't say those words.
I know where you are. You're with me. Please put your weapon away. I mean you no harm.
Stay back.
Wait.
I'm warning you, old man.
I've been alone so long. It's been years since I've spoken to anyone.
You live here alone? In the dark?
Not by choice. My ship crashed. I'm trapped, marooned. I've had to
I recognize his voice.
survive.
Look,
I know Sam Whitmer's voice.
okay, I wish I could help you, but I have to get back to my friend.
Perhaps I could help you.
I
No.
doubt that.
Why are you here?
I'm not gonna...
Why are you here?
It's in the temple, isn't it?
And I know the secret way to get inside, but I'm too old.
No, don't trust this man.
What's inside? You first.
Do you not trust me?
No, no, I do not trust you, Maul.
Let's change that. Call me Old Master.
That has to be Maul. I know Sam Witwer's voice, and it's dark, but like I see the tattoos.
Because he's outnumbered.
He did seem surprised. I don't think he was looking for us.
Oh god, there's more. There's definitely
Who
more.
is he tracking?
Oh my god, the Inquisitor was here for Maul.
You worry about your friends.
They need my help.
Yes, and with good reason. The Inquisitor is powerful.
Wait. You know about the Inquisitor?
He is my enemy. All Inquisitors and their masters are my enemies.
Were you a Jedi?
No.
No, but I was once a Force wielder. The Sith. The Sith took everything from me. Ripped me from my mother's arms, murdered my brother, used me as a weapon, and then cast me aside. Abandoned me.
That's all technically true. How did you end up here,
I know how
though?
you feel.
You were a crime lord the last time we saw you.
You took away my home, and my mother, and my father.
This is not the right teacher for Ezra.
I want justice.
Yes. Yes, and you shall have it, for I have discovered the key.
Fuck off.
And you'll share this knowledge with me.
Yes, of course.
Oh, don't trust him, boy. He does not have your best interest at heart. He's manipulative. Ah! Go fuck yourself, man.
Chopper, sometimes you do it right.
You must know your enemy, even practice their beliefs.
Yeah, my master wouldn't approve of that last part.
Then he is doomed to fail. Now, young Jedi, help me.
Maul, you creepy bastard. He really goes in like waves of being like really silent and competent to batshit crazy and then back again and then like he's not as bad as Dumpster Maul, but like you can't really get worse than Trash Spider Maul.
Your anger is a wellspring. You must use it.
But a Jedi is never supposed to act out of emotion.
Your passions give you strength. And
Huh.
through strength you gain
And power.
You have seen it.
That's a Sith code.
Feel it. You must break your chains.
There's a lot of old KOTOR references in this episode with Malachor, Sith code. Through power my chains are broken. The Force shall set me free. Something like that. I think it's the Force shall free me, but those were like almost direct lines from the old Sith code from the KOTOR games. No! Ezra! Stop!
A dead end!
Focus.
Maul, you ain't doing shit! I just saw the end of his cane. That's a fucking lightsaber.
What do we do?
Release the one behind you.
Well, no going back.
My name's Ezra. My real name.
Real name. Yes. I once had a real name. So long ago, I don't remember.
Is he talking about...
Now I am called Maul.
Gasp! Like I did recognize Sam Witwer's voice immediately. Fuck you, show. But that's kind of sad because obviously Maul was taken to become a Sith at a very young age that he doesn't even remember the name his parents gave him. He just knows his Sith name. And he's not even a Darth anymore. He's, I guess, just Maul.
You were not expecting us. Who are you after?
A shadow.
Cool.
Behold the key.
It's a holocron.
A Sith holocron.
Yeah. My master has one, but it's different.
Because this is a Sith holocron.
Don't touch that shit!
All their secrets.
That's clearly some cursed shit. You don't go into an ancient temple and touch the artifacts. This feels like all those old expeditions to pyramids where people would touch stuff that they clearly weren't supposed to. And then everyone ended up dying mysteriously later.
My master and I do it all the time. Well, a few times anyway. Look, we can do this.
Maul, you ain't looking good, though. He clearly has not been eating. No! No! Don't... Oh god, we're going to Indiana Jones, aren't we? Where's the giant boulder?
We need to find.
Oh god, he called back up. He called back up. Fuck. They can't get there that quickly, right? It's not like they're around the corner.
I won't make it.
Ezra!
What the fuck is that? Kanan, why did you leave the boy alone? He makes bad decisions when he's alone.
Somehow.
Yeah, of course he is. You left him alone. No, don't trust him. This is going to be like an Aladdin thing where he catches the edge and he's gonna grab the holocron, not the kid. Unless he has plans for Ezra. Well, okay then.
Fear. You were wise to trust me.
I don't know if wisdom's the right word. Maybe naivete?
What do you mean we've got company?
Hey, what are you laughing at?
What the fuck is that? Wait! Oh no! What? How the fuck does that work?
An excellent day's hunt.
Hey girl! Of course it's these two. Oh god. Ugh. That was too many spinning blades. It hurt my eyes. But wait, how does spinning a lightsaber allow you to fly? No, that sounds dumb.
I will show you.
Okay. It's a key.
Holocrons are keys. They can open many doors.
It's a key to doors and to knowledge. I think Maul's looking for an apprentice, isn't he? Oh. Oh wait, Ahsoka knows Maul. Wait, what? But that came out before this. I mean after.
Ezra! Kanan! Ahsoka! I brought help!
But she should know Maul.
Maul.
Yeah.
The shadow.
The shadow.
What fun! What fun!
God damn it! Well, now I understand the comments on the last episode that were like, oh, what fun. Fuck y'all. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Of all the characters I was expecting to show up in this episode, Maul was not one of them. But he has a tendency to show up like a bad penny wherever you don't want him to be. I'm wondering, though, how he ended up here, of all places, because the last time we saw him, chronologically, was in Solo, where he is the head of a crime organization. And I don't know how many years before this Solo was, but I'm wondering how Maul went from leader of a crime organization to crazy old man in the middle of a temple. There's a story there. But it's nice to know that the Season 8 Clone Wars episodes took into account the continuity of Rebels when creating those final episodes. Though I guess those episodes were already planned out. But even though like the timeline of release orders is kind of wonky, it's nice to see Maul and Ahsoka knowing each other, and I wonder if we're going to see references to the Siege of Mandalore. Even though technically those episodes didn't exist when this episode was being aired. But yeah, I'm getting all over the place, so let's go back to the beginning of the episode. And that first scene is actually very cute. I love Rex being protective of Ahsoka, because they've always had that kind of big brother, little sister vibe that I've always really enjoyed. And it is just a cute little moment between these two characters that we've known for so long, because we haven't really seen them interact a lot since earlier in the season when they had that cute reunion where they hugged and it was lovely and I cried a little bit, but they haven't really interacted on screen, and I think that's just mostly because the show likes to focus on the Ghost Crew for obvious reasons. But it's nice to see them get that small moment before all the crazy shit in this episode happens. And after that, this episode goes balls to the walls crazy, just completely off the rails. So we land on Malachor, we find a Sith temple, just like that. There's an Inquisitor there that's apparently hunting down Maul. And I love the design of this planet. It is instantly so ominous that you know, like, something's off. It looks like a planet that's designed to be uninhabitable by basically anything. There's no plants, there's no wildlife. It is just a dead planet of rocks and mist and these weird monoliths. And so it instantly has a vibe of darkness and death. And, you know, if there was a planet for the Sith to call home and to make a crazy-ass temple, I would choose it too. The Sith have an aesthetic and they stick with it, and I can respect that. And that's basically the only thing about the Sith I respect. The look. But yeah, that temple is intimidating. The Sith temple design reminds me a lot about like brutalist architecture. And I think a lot of Sith temples remind me of that, or just Sith buildings in general. Like Vader's castle also, of the fact that it's just, the brutalist architecture is always those like concrete buildings that are all basically right angles. And they just kind of look like a brick was dropped in to the middle of a city. And they're not meant to be pretty. They're supposed to be very, as the name suggests, brutal. And that temple reminds me so much of those brutalist buildings that I've seen in, like, Chicago, where you look at them and you're like, I know it's a building, but it's intimidating for no discernible reason. But yeah, it is a scary-ass looking building. It's intense. It's glowing red. It's probably meant to be a death trap. I mean, it kind of is a death trap. There was clearly a bunch of dead Jedi there, which I feel like is the first warning signal of, like, if you walk in and you see a bunch of dead Jedi and scattered lightsabers, I feel like that's a sign to turn around and go home. I also love the fact that the lightsaber that Ezra picked up is the one that has the lightsaber hilt guard, which makes me think that this came out really around the time that The Force Awakens came out, because that was the big thing about that first trailer of like, oh my god, Kylo Ren, his lightsaber has two little lightsabers coming out of it. And remember when that was the big deal about that trailer? Like, everyone's just like, this movie's gonna suck because his lightsaber doesn't look like the other lightsabers. Like, that was our biggest problem with those movies. But I'm guessing, yeah, that this episode was airing around the same time that Force Awakens, at least the trailer dropped, or the movie is about to be released. Because that definitely feels like a cross-promotion. We also got a new Inquisitor in this episode. We don't really see his face, and we don't get which number he is. I have a feeling that he's just an Inquisitor that's introduced to kind of pad out the numbers of the Inquisitors in this episode, because we've seen Ahsoka fight the 2 Inquisitors that we've had throughout the season in a 1-on-2 and basically kick their ass, and the only reason they survived was that they called in a shit ton of stormtroopers. So I have a feeling that this 3rd Inquisitor is just to be like, there's another one. It's a more difficult battle now. I think the only person that Ahsoka could fight that could actually be a challenge for her that's currently around would be Vader. I don't think any of these Inquisitors. I think you could send the whole armada after her and she'd be fine. Okay, now let's talk about Maul. Maul. Love him to death. Maul is great. I actually really love Maul as a character. I think he's a great villain. I think the Clone Wars did so much to kind of actually make him a character rather than just a random threat that he was in The Phantom Menace. I love The Phantom Menace, but Maul in that movie is more of a force of nature than anything else. He doesn't really speak. He is just there to bulldoze his way through Qui-Gon Jinn. And that's what the movie needed. But it doesn't make really a compelling villain for very long, and that's why I don't really mind that he gets chopped in half in that movie. But in that movie, he's really cool. He has a double-bladed lightsaber. Ray Park is doing his best. That final lightsaber duel is one of the best sword fights in a movie. It is my favorite. He's a little bit sexy. It's great. But he's just basically to kill Qui-Gon and then die. And then the Clone Wars obviously expanded on that and made him an actually interesting villain and gave him nuance. And you kind of feel for him because he didn't choose to be a Sith. He was basically stolen as a baby. And obviously this episode kind of deals with that. The fact that he doesn't remember his original name. He only remembers Maul. And the fact that, yeah, it isn't the Jedi that killed his brother. Savage Opress was not killed by a Jedi. He was killed by his former master. The Sith kind of ruined Maul's life. And he's spent years and years and years coming to terms with that. To the point where at the end of the Clone Wars, he's not even after Kenobi anymore. He's after Skywalker in those final 4 episodes because he's trying to stop what the Sith are trying to do. But yeah, now he's ended up in a Sith temple. I'm guessing that he came here at some point to try to get the Sith holocron because he wants to stop the Sith. And by stop the Sith, I mean take his revenge on Palpatine. But he got trapped there because the Sith require a master and an apprentice, and he is just one. Which makes me think that Ezra is going to be his apprentice, or he's trying to make Ezra his apprentice. Because that's what he wanted from Ahsoka in the end of the Clone Wars. That he wanted someone at his side because he lost his brother. And now I think this is the same thing, where he is just a very lonely man, and he has only known the Sith code his entire life. So he doesn't make friends, he makes apprentices, and because that's the only relationship the Sith have, really. Master and apprentice, the rule of 2. That's why he grabbed Ezra instead of just grabbing the holocron and running, because I think he might just be lonely, but also he wants an apprentice, someone to pass on his knowledge, to train. And, you know, Ezra might actually fall for that. He is inherently impulsive, and I think he does trust Maul in this situation, which is slightly naive, because if you run into a man that looks like Maul, he looks like a demon, and he just looks evil in general, and that the way he speaks, and it just kind of screams Sith. This is a Sith. Do not trust this man. But he does, which could lead Ezra down a very dangerous path. But also, that makes me kind of excited because that seems fun. I mean, the dark side, awful. Like, there's no redeeming things about the dark side. You get power, but it's never a happy life. But it makes a fun plot point for a character to maybe slip a little, you know? I don't think Ezra's going to go full Anakin and kill a bunch of kids. I think this is going to be a test for Ezra to see if he can be tempted by the dark side and walk away from it. And I think he has to be away from Kanan to do that. Because he can't have someone being like, hey, don't do this. I think he has to realize that it's a bad thing on his own terms. But yeah, it's nice to see Maul again. Sam Witwer, he's back. I love his voice. He is such a good voice actor. I think he fits Maul perfectly. Like in the Clone Wars, he went from like incredibly insane, being trapped on a trash planet, was kind of a centaur spider situation, was not a great look, but that whole insanity monologue was great, and he went from that to, by the time the final season rolled around, kind of calm and maniacal and a little bit sexy, and it was just like a nice, he has the range is what I'm saying, and so now this is kind of an in-between of those two. It's not Trash Planet Maul, but it's not Maul who was sitting on a throne with Jesse being force choked in one hand and just kind of lounging. This is a man that's probably been alone for a while, but is still in his head, at the very least. Though, that final line of, what fun, that seems a little suspicious, sanity-wise, so we'll have to see how much time he's spent on this plan and how much has gotten into his head. Also love how many references to the old Sith code was in this episode. I mean, obviously, you had Maul kind of recite a little bit of it. Because the Jedi Code and the Sith Code, I think, were created for KOTOR. Like the Jedi Code isn't really a thing in the original movies and the prequels and anything else. It was mostly for KOTOR. And I know that the Sith Code was created specifically for KOTOR. But it was nice to kind of see it again. I'm gonna be honest, I think the Sith Code is a lot cooler than the Jedi Code. And I think one of the lines is, through strength I gain power, through power I gain victory. Through victory my chains are broken, the Force shall free me. And yeah, he mentioned the line about chains and all of that. So that was a nice reference. And I think Maul, whenever he was crazy trash spider, he also kind of was reciting the Sith Code from KOTOR. So yeah, it's fun, the fact that they have referenced those games a couple of times in this episode. Obviously, the planet's from KOTOR, and that line Ahsoka had at the very beginning about there's always some truth in legends. And I think that's a reference to the fact that all the old novels that used to be canon are now called legends whenever Disney took over. And now they're slowly reintroducing some bits from the novels and the video games back into TV shows and books that are now canon. Obviously, they leave some things behind. So there is some truth in those old KOTOR games. Not all of it's real, but some of it is. And so, like, the Sith Code, that is now a thing in current continuity. Is the rest of KOTOR? Probably not. I hope. I love KOTOR. I'm fond of my version of Darth Revan, who was a very good boy and was basically Space Jesus, but I have a feeling if Revan's canon, it's not. He probably didn't act like my version of Revan. But that's because I can't be a bad person in video games because I feel actual physical guilt. But I wonder what's on that holocron, because holocrons contain knowledge. But I don't know if it's going to be like, some holocrons contain very specific information. They're like books in that way. The holocron that Kanan has the distress message left by Obi-Wan. But sometimes holocrons are more magical or metaphysical, where they don't contain set knowledge, but can lead you to information. And if Maul is to be actually trusted, which I don't, but let's just give him the benefit of the doubt and say that the holocron actually contains information how to destroy the Sith. Is it like a specific thing, or would it lead someone to what they want? Like, okay, so let's say it's a specific thing and just like, it's a Sith killing weapon. But that feels kind of like a cop-out, and obviously that doesn't exist in current Star Wars continuity, because if they got a Sith killing weapon, the original trilogy wouldn't happen. So then maybe let's say Ezra opens it up and just like, lead me to something that would help us defeat the Sith and the Empire. Because I know as a watcher that the thing that ends up destroying the Sith, kind of in a roundabout way, is Luke Skywalker. The holocron lead him to Luke because that is the thing that ends up destroying the Sith. Or if you're going by the prophecy, the thing that ends up destroying the Sith is Luke convincing Vader to yeet Palpatine into the weird endless pit that's in the middle of that throne room. So would Ezra end up just getting the information that would happen? I don't know. But yes, the next episode should be quite fun. There are currently 3 Inquisitors, possibly more on the way, because we don't know how many that distress beacon went out to. Obviously, these 2 were the closest, but who knows what else is going to show up. And also whose side Maul is going to be on, if he's going to suddenly try to kill Ahsoka. I don't know. She might try to kill him. He's an evil little bastard. I wouldn't blame her, but... and I don't know what else is going to happen in the season finale, because I feel like something bad has to happen. There's just too much going on right now. Oh my god, I just read the episode title, and it's called Twilight of the Apprentice. Which Apprentice? Whose Twilight is it? I think the obvious one is Ezra, but also Vader always refers to Ahsoka as the Apprentice, but she can't die. She's in The Mandalorian. But also, what does that mean? What does Twilight of the Apprentice mean? Is someone gonna die? I don't want that. I'm worried about next episode now. So that was my reaction to Season 2, Episode 21 of Star Wars Rebels Twilight of the Apprentice, Part 1. So if you like this reaction, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps out the channel and keeps me motivated to keep making more of these. So thank you so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you next time. Bye!